Go ahead and do the pledge. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Thank you. Good words. I know I'm putting this on. I'm going to relinquish the mic. Well, welcome to July and the heat, right? It's a lot of things going on. We got a lot of rain here lately. Things are growing out there. They've been tree trimming. We'll talk about all that. But let's first get right into it with Resident Life and Miss Amanda. Check.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Oh my goodness, this is beautiful. Red, white, and blue all over the campus. Keep up the good work. This is beautiful. So I want to start off with some upcoming events with today. We're having our red, white, and blue. It's going to be in the main dining room from 2:30 to 3:30 for you all. And so, of course, we're going to have food, some light music, and yes, ice cream. Everybody want that ice cream. So that'll be the piece of resistance. Please enjoy your ice cream. I like that ice cream. And then for popular demand, we've been asking for a second trip to Publix. So now that's going to start July the 11th, going to Oak Ridge Publix at 1:30. So please sign up. Floor bunker, right next to all the other outings when you're going on the buses. You now have a clipboard with Oak Ridge Publix every Thursday, 1:30. Yes, we still have the 9 a.m. Publix for Southgate. But we was hearing that we needed our 2 Publix, and we brought that back, okay? Monday, July the 22nd, we will have our virtual art show. So please come out and love on the wonderful arts. We have some awesome, outstanding artists here on campus, and we want you to see what they put in the show of 334 pieces. We're 34 pieces of that. So we are so proud of one another, and we just want you to come out and support. The show will start at 3 o'clock, and it's a slideshow, so it will loop. You won't miss a thing. And it shows you the entire Westminster community of everyone that participated in that art show. Beautiful work. And we, of course, you already know, we have 3 of our very own that's in that. So kudos. Next year, we're going to have more. I can feel it. And then please know that we're going to shoot for an outing, something closer to home. So we're going to do the Polk Museum of Art tour. We're going to have a young lady that's going to give us a tour. And then we're going to scoot on over to Harry's so we can have a nice luncheon as well. Now, that program outing will start at, I think we're going to leave here about 11 because our tour doesn't start until 11:30, okay? So that means we're going to have like a little light lunch. But it'll be a nice outing. Then August the 6th, we're going to have our annual National Night Out where the police, LPD, the mayor, all our wonderful people will come out and visit, and you get to have your time to sit, have a continental breakfast, and just talk to them and get to know more about our community and our area. And of course, last but not least, August the 20th is the primary. We still having that on campus at the MacArthur Center. And so that'll be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So that's good to know that we still have our polling site still here, make it easy for everybody at the MacArthur Center. At this time, do anyone have any questions for Resident Life?
If somebody had a comment or suggestion, where would those go?
They will come to me, Samantha Barrett, and sbarrett@wsservices.org, or you can call extension 127, but I'm in the directory. And if you're emailing me, please make sure it's 2 R's and 2 T's. If you leave an R out, it bounces and I don't get it, and then you're mad at me because I didn't respond to your email, but I don't receive those. So please just double check and make sure it's 2 R's, 2 T's. And I try my best to respond back to you that very day. If I'm in the office, I'll get back with you as soon as I can.
If they put a comment in the comment box, will it get to you?
Yes, it should come to me. Also, because they check those periodically, and anything for resident
Instead of
services,
talking.
they come to me. What did you say?
They're looking at me over here.
Okay, that is it for resident service. I'm getting ready to go over to help out in the dining room because we're taking care of team, and then you guys next. So come over and enjoy the festivities. Thank you, and happy early 4th of July.
Yeah, thank you. All right. So we want to continue. I'm going to come. Don't just stay right there. I'll go to you next because I know you got a meeting. We want to continue to promote the Resident Life program here at the community. I encourage you strongly to sign up for the events that Samanda's putting out there, or give her suggestions for things that you would like to do, right? In order for us to have a very robust program, we have to have things to do that you want to do, right? So it doesn't help for her to have a calendar and then nobody participates, right? So if there's something on there that you don't like, put that on the comment card as well, and maybe why, right? But you may be the sole person out in that particular instance, and that activity may continue on, if there's enough interest in it, right? But we desperately want your help with this, and I'm asking for it. Samanda's asking for it. We want your input. There's no bad ideas, right? All right, we're going to skip the agenda a little bit because I know Alyssa has a conflict coming up. So we're going to go to the Porter McGrath update, and Dawn's, your sidekick's not with you, but we'll let you tell us what's going on.
Hi, I was going to do it without the mic. I think I have like a pretty loud voice, but I guess not loud enough. Well, happy Independence Day. How's everybody doing? Most people look very festive. So quick update. I know that there was some notifications sent out. I just want to confirm that everybody was notified that we had 2 staff members in the IL that had tested positive for COVID, okay? So I just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that, and we're continuing to practice universal precautions, hand washing, covering our mouths if you're not feeling too well, staying in, contacting your physician, and following all the necessary procedures to make sure we stay in good health. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of being a part of the Executive Resident Council meeting. That was really exciting. And there was a couple of questions that came up about what we would do, or
Here's
what to
Dawn.
do. Dawn, what to do in the event of a safety issue that happened either at night or overnight. So as always, you guys should have, or everybody should have, the pull cords in their homes or apartments. Each person should also have their pendants. I understand that the pendants are not waterproof. So if you are going to be taking a shower or washing your hands or some sort, if you're in the bathtub, just make sure that you're cognizant of where the pull cord is if something should happen. And you should know where the pull cords are in your home just for safety purposes. But in the event, if there is an emergency, you can either push your pendant or you can always contact 911 first. But if it's not like a detrimental emergency, you could always pull that pull cord and somebody from the nursing staff will be available. Security is also available. We did talk about possibly updating, and I spoke with Doug, the
Refrigerator magnet.
Yep, the refrigerator magnet. So we'll get you some more information about when we'll get that ordered and updated. Probably won't be any time like within the next 2 weeks, but we'll get it definitely updated. And as always, what else do we need to talk about? So much going on. But if, and then one more thing did come up. Many of you have, I guess, long-term care insurance policies. I do want to say that we are not insurance professionals, but we will assist you in contacting your insurance company if you do have a long-term care insurance policy. So this way you can obtain clarification about what you signed up for and what they cover. If you have a loved one or somebody who can assist you with that, we would definitely defer to them. But if in the event that you are still not understanding and maybe you want somebody else to listen in just to provide further clarification and maybe ask some additional questions, we would assist you in helping to facilitate that. Okay? Nothing too specific in the healthcare center. Again, one more thing. There are many of you who may have Humana or any other insurance, private insurance or commercial insurance or managed care plan, okay? I want to tell you guys that Westminster Lakeland currently does not have a Humana contract. But if in the event that you end up having to have a hospital stay and you want to come back here for rehab, you can, okay? The hospital will give you a list. Well, the hospital's job is to review your insurance and see which facilities are in network. We will not be in network if you're Humana. But what we can do and what you need to ask the hospital is, I want to do a one-time contract. Let them know to please contact Westminster Lakeland, and we're going to do a one-time contract. Humana has done that for members who live in our community, and you will still be able to receive rehab services here in our PMG Health Center. Okay, does anybody, and if you need any clarification, I'm also going to be putting that out in the monthly newsletter, okay? Or if there's a insurance company and they say that Westminster Lakeland is not a participating provider, please make sure you let them know to contact the admissions representative, and we will do a one-time, we will contact your insurance company to try to obtain a one-time contract because you're a resident of Westminster Lakeland. Okay, I know that's a lot of information, but that's my time.
The other thing you discussed in the executive committee meeting was receiving AL care in the IL residential homes. Right? So we do not do that in the homes, but we have a dual licensure in the IL apartments. Is my mic too loud? No? Okay. So there may have been a little miscommunication there in your meeting, but I just wanted to clarify that the IL apartments, which would be A building, Bunker building, Nor Rife, the Garden apartments, I think that's it. They're all dual certified. There's 148 of those units, so they can be either IL or AL. So in those apartments, you can receive up to 2 ADLs, activities of daily living, assistance if needed. All right. Question.
When did they go back to, if in the evening you think you have to go to the hospital, and you called up here and the nurse used to come out? In March, when I called up, they told me could not come out to the house, and they definitely didn't. I called twice, they wouldn't come out. They said, if you want to go to the hospital, you have to call. So that's why I was in. I called and, got it taken care of by myself. The ambulance came and got me.
Right. So again, like Alyssa was saying, if there's an emergency, call 911. If it's something that you don't think is an emergency, you can call and somebody should come out. We can talk with the nursing team about that and get that clarified. 6 months ago, it's hard for me to figure out who you talk to and all that. But as we move forward, if something happens, I want everybody. My number one priority is safety, right? So if you have something going on, it doesn't hurt to have the ambulance come and not need it, right? But if you need it and they don't come, well then it's, there's a delay there, and we want to limit those delays, right? So I would default to calling 911 first myself, unless, you nicked yourself on something and, you knew it wasn't, serious. I mean, if you fall, we want to look at it. I think you had a question. Yes, sir. 911. Yeah. I will, right. One second, I'll be right with you. Yes, sir. Question regarding long-term health care.
Previously provided information about that. Is that still part of our records?
If you gave, the question was, he has a question about long-term care health care. If you all gave Cher and their team, the admissions team, information about it, it still should be in your record somewhere. But you could ask us, right? We have all the active resident files down by us. We can pull your record and tell you whether it's in there or not. Yep, absolutely. Yes, sir.
I've got a question for Alyssa. The Humana, does that cover the HMO and PPO both, or just the HMO?
Typically, when we do a one-time contract, we'll just contact the Humana based on your card, and we'll let them know that you're a resident here, and they'll do a one-time courtesy.
It's called a single case agreement.
Right, single case agreement. They'll do that. So we'll take care of that on our side, but I want to let you guys know if you end up at Lakeland Regional Medical Center and you have Humana, or if they tell you that your insurance is not, that we don't take your insurance, let them know that you still want the referral sent there, and then Rhonda or Marcy in admissions will handle the single case agreement process.
I think there's a question back here. Tony?
I understand the one-time contract. Try to clarify. Say like if you come back, get well, and it happens again, the same thing, and you wound up in the hospital. That means we cannot come back here again with that one-time contract, or what?
It's a single case agreement, so that doesn't mean that it can only happen one time. I was using the wrong verbiage. So it's a single case agreement. So when you have one episode or one case, they'll authorize that. If you go back to the hospital, that's another case, another episode. We'll try to get that approved as well.
So a bigger question, to all that is, why don't we have a contract with Humana, right? So, Humana is one of the largest, managed care providers out there. Why doesn't, Westminster have a contract with them? Well, they're extraordinarily challenging to work with, right? And when you do work with them, reimbursement is minimal, and they have an extraordinarily large amount of documentation that they require when you submit claims. And after you submit a claim per their requirement, they often come back and challenge the claim, and many times deny a claim after services have been provided and take money back, right? So, in general, right, unless it's one of our internal, residents, one of you all, we don't provide services to Humana for that reason, right? So it's I like to have these conversations sort of one-on-one with folks. As your care needs increase, right, we need to look at the insurance that we have. And I am not an insurance expert. I know it seems here lately we've had a real uptick in questions about insurance, but there's different insurances, different supplement policies based on what your medications are and what your care needs are. So it's a complex question, but in general, I know that's why we don't have a contract with Humana. Any other questions for Miss Alyssa and Dawn? So I can tell you on an up note, since Cher and Susan aren't here, we can all guess why, right? The health center had its highest census ever? Since I've been here. 59 we got up to a couple weeks ago. So that was pretty incredible. The place, when you have 59 folks in there and they're used to having around 40, it's buzzing, right? There's a lot of activity going on. So it was nice, and we congratulate the admissions team, the marketing team there, Rhonda, our new admissions, our nurse liaison, Marcy, Dawn and her team. It's outstanding.
Thank you. And I just wanted to say right now, COVID is on the increase, so please be careful when you're out traveling. Make sure you wash your hands. When it's in the news, there's a new variant, and it is on the increase. So our biggest thing here for all nurses that work at Westminster Lakeland, we want you to be safe, healthy, happy, and whole. So just be careful when you're out there, in the crowds and traveling for the summer. And let us know if you have any kind of issues, if you start not feeling well, so that we can get you tested to make sure that you're still doing well. We're very busy, as Doug said, over in PMG, but things are good. And we did just hire a new assistant director of nursing. Her name is Glenda. She has done infection control and staff development for many years, and she'll be a great addition to our team. We still have consistent staff, so you should be still seeing the same familiar faces, but she is the newest addition, and I'm excited to have her. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So they did Katie's part as well, because Katie's on vacation. So that's our COVID update for the community. So we get that, each week. And if there's something that changes with our COVID status, we communicate it out. Hopefully, everybody has their email address updated with Miss Carol. If not, if you didn't receive an email from her this week about the COVID status, that means she doesn't have your updated email. Right? So everybody also every week should get a notice from me, the TGI FYI, right? So if you're not getting that, that's because she doesn't have your updated email, right? They do send out paper copies. All right, next on the agenda is we're going back to Miss Etta. We're getting back on track here with our spiritual life update.
Thank you. I don't have a lot for July. The main thing is our focus for our schools in our area for Oscar J. Pope and for Jesse King Elementary. There are two of our underprivileged schools in Lakeland. There are also schools that many of our residents either volunteer now or have volunteered in the past. And so we're collecting school supplies for them for their orientation. Last year, there was just an overwhelming response, and I wish you could have seen the faces of the kids and the teachers. Of course, we couldn't take pictures of the kids because of HIPAA, but I wish I could have packed you all up and just taken you to see that. So the boxes are outside my door, just as you're going to Publix or Walmart. You don't have to supply the whole school. If you grab a couple things and just put it in the box, there's enough of us that it will really help the teachers. And what they're doing is for orientation, last year they set up tables, and the kids got their backpack, because many of you bought backpacks as well. They got their backpack, and they just went around the table with their school list, and they put inside their backpack what they needed. We had enough left over that all of the first, second, and third grade homerooms had boxes in their room so that when the kids ran out of supplies around Christmas, because that happens, they still had things that the kids could pull from the box. So that was really good. The supply lists are up front with Carol and I. There's lists posted outside my door. If you have other questions on that, see Carol and I on that. We're going to try to get donations in by July 23rd. School starts back August the 10th, I believe, for Polk County. So we want to make sure that we get the supplies to the orientation for the kids. And it's for those who are in need. You don't have to worry about kids who don't need it picking up supplies, because that didn't happen. And we'll go out and be with them during that time. So I want to thank you in advance for that. I will be out July 15th through the 18th. That's in your Hunter Harrell. I have my last conference with my bishop in Orlando for that week. And so Dick Huggins has graciously volunteered to do Sunday service for us on the 21st. So please attend and be nice to him. You all did really well when I was out, and Reverend Phillips came, and it was really wonderful for that. As you know, the Larsons will be leaving at the end of the month, going to Minnesota. They're still going to make that trip. And so we had a young lady, her name is Linda France. I don't know if any of you are familiar with her, but she's part of the Lakeland Musician Club. She's going to be our pianist organist. She's going to do both, hopefully, while we're gone for August. But we're looking for a musician for September. So if any of you, especially my folks that are new to campus and I don't know your musical talent, if you would like to accompany us on Sundays, our worship service is Sunday at 10 o'clock. It's usually about a 45-minute service at the most. Prelude, 2 hymns in between, and a postlude. If you'd like to play for the month of September, I do need a musician for September. So just let me know. Otherwise, we're going to be singing a cappella, and I'll get some of the choir members to lead that because you don't want to hear me sing. That's not one of my gifts. Check the bulletin board in the breezeway. I've been updating that, so when you're walking through, you can see what's going on for the entire month. That's posted out back. And then also, one more thing on hospital visits. I know some of you have been in the hospital and come out, and you haven't had me come to visit. For this month, especially for July, I'm being extra careful because of the spike in COVID. And in the hospital, no one does universal precautions that I've seen. None of our nurses are wearing anything. None of our doctors are wearing anything. None of our PCAs or any of them are wearing anything. And I've been on floors where as I'm walking out the floor, I hear in the background that we've got active cases of COVID on the floor. So I'm being very careful in that. If I need to come out, I will come, but I will limit my visits here on campus on those days. So for instance, if tomorrow was a hospital visit day, you probably won't see me walking around the health center or assisted living because I know that many of our folks, their immune system is a little compromised, and I'm not going to be a carrier. That's my goal for this summer, to not be a carrier. So don't be offended if I don't get to see you. I try to make a call, drop a card, check with the nurse. I've got residents who are visiting, and that's helping me out as well. But I don't want you to think I'm neglecting my duties by not doing both of that. I gotta keep you safe. We do not need an outbreak on campus, and we do not need me to be the carrier. So just keep us in prayer, do your due diligence. If you feel like scratchy throat, fatigue, slight fever, even if you think your allergies are doing more than they usually do, get checked out. Just be sure. It's better to be sure. We've got enough test kits to test us all. Let's just be sure. Let's not take it for granted. Let's love our neighbor as we love ourselves. I think that's all my announcements. Any questions for me? You're welcome.
Hope you're done. We're trying to stretch this out so we get to the ice cream. 2:30. All right.
Okay,
Thank you. Thanks, Etta. Appreciate it. Only thing she wants to be contagious with is her positivity. How about that? All right. Speaking of positive things, one of our team members here that you are all very familiar with, Miss Allison Hand, got nominated for a legendary award under special, I dropped my pen, under special recognition. Etta is the only one that has her own pens. So I wanted to read to you all this. This is awesome that one of our team members here got recognized for this, by Westminster from our Orlando office, and I think it's great. So I wanted to share it with you, and I think some of you actually took part in this, so which made it happen. I'm nominating Allison Hand for a legendary award under special recognition for her recent efforts to partner with Westminster Towers in a Wii bowling event. Everybody at Westminster Lakeland has had a hectic few months with all the transitions from Florida Presbyterians' homes to Westminster communities of Florida. Allison has reached out to me and her wellness colleagues, asking questions and creating connections. She has developed a rapport with Maggie at Westminster Towers and recently presented the idea of having a friendly Wii bowling competition between the two communities. What an outstanding initiative. She has not only been part of the Westminster family for a few months, and she has only been a part of the Westminster family for a few months, and she's already seeking out ways to enhance her residents' lives with neighboring communities. Partnerships such as these create a sense of being one family, though we are many, many communities. Because she is new to the organization and showed positive initiative, I feel she deserves special recognition. Creating opportunities for our residents to thrive in friendship on their own campus and others is legendary. So if you see Miss Allison, congratulate her. I think she's here with us right at the moment. But, it's awesome, right, that, folks get recognized. We want to recognize our team members for doing things, over and beyond, right? I think many of you take part in our programs. The wellness program is very robust. There's things, hopefully for, all of you in there to enjoy and to challenge you. Again, if there's not, and there's something that you would like to see in the program, right, where we're going to go to this comment card thing, right? So fill out a comment card or just email me, email Allison. I think Allison's ego is very much in check. You're not going to offend her by, asking a question or having a suggestion, right? So let's do that. All right. Before we get too much further down the road, we have a pencil in here. We didn't get it on the agenda, but we want to have Mr. Rick come up and tell us what's going on with maintenance and some of the things at the community. Come on up there, Mr. Rick. I'll go ahead and give you a clap. Golf clap. Sorry.
Well, we've had a number of projects happening around campus. First of all, the nurse call system is finally completed. It's up and running, so we should not have, or if you have any, let me know, any false alarms. This new system is supposed to eliminate that. So if you have a false alarm through a nurse call system, so if somebody comes knocking on your door at 1 or 2 in the morning or midnight, and you didn't push the pendant, let me know, because it's supposed to stop all the false alarms. So, but it's all completed, up and running. So, and does everybody understand how it works? You have a pull station in the bathroom. You have a pendant, and you could also have it as a wristband, like a wristwatch. So we have that. So if you need it, let us know. Or if you have a pendant, and the only reason a pendant will go into a false alarm is if you take it in the shower or if you go in the swimming pool with it. Because water will get in there and it'll touch the contacts and we will have false alarms from that. But we could open it up and take a look at it if that happens. Yes, sir.
AJ came to our home yesterday and put a pendant on a wristband.
Yes, sir.
And he said that the pendant was good for at least 15 feet underwater.
I'm not going to guarantee that. It's water resistant, but not waterproof. It's not, so if it happens too many times, because we've had residents that swam with it, and it was good for a few times, but after that, then it started shorting out, and we started getting false alarms, and then we'll have people out there looking for you, or knocking on your door. So yeah, I'm sure you don't want that. You're welcome. Project that we are working on now is 4 Bunker Manor. The back ramp, you notice where we've had a lot of mud on the back ramp or in the sidewalk going around 4 Bunker Manor. We have recently removed all the plants, so we sodded it in, and I have 2 quotes on a new gutter system. Those gutters on that building are about 30 years old as the old roof was, and it's just like everything else, they wear out and they start sagging, and so we're working on that to help eliminate some of the mud on the sidewalks. We removed the back patio set on the putting green. We're going to repaint that and purchase a new table and some chairs in that area. So those are some of the projects we're working on. We are also working in a B213, where that's a renovation, getting ready for a new resident there. And we are waiting for approval to get started on 37 Lake Hunter. It's going to be a renovation on that house also. We are now does everybody know where 37's at? Okay, that's at the far end of our campus. That's a big house down at the far end. It's 102 years old, this house is. I'm in the process of interviewing new staff for security and grounds. We have a new grounds gentleman starting up on Monday. And then we had Matthew Smart, who works second shift security. He put his resignation in. He's moving back up north to New York. So I'm in the process of filling that position. So, any questions or concerns for environmental? Yes, ma'am.
I have a good comment. I'm very glad to see the fountain in Helen Dairy Garden working.
Well, good. Yes, ma'am. We had to order a new pump for that.
So there's a leak in the pump, and it'll run about a day until the water leaks out, and then Doug comes fill the pond back up, and then it'll repeat that process. So we got to fix the leak. But it does have great flow when it's working.
Right, Rick, I've got two questions. First one is, I noticed this past Sunday that the gate for the maintenance area was wide open. This is early Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Is that supposed to be closed up?
It depends. If the maintenance man was down there doing preventive maintenance on the golf carts or doing something down in maintenance, he'll leave it open for himself in case he has to go out. But I'll double check that to make sure.
Okay, but it should be closed on the weekends normally?
Yes, normally, yes. If he's not down there working, yes.
If I go by there, I should maybe, if it's open, call security to make sure that it is.
Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. Yes.
Second thing, seems to take quite a while to get something fixed. Is there a staff shortage now to get something fixed, or is it going to get better soon?
What we're doing is we are 6 short in maintenance.
6 people short? Oh my gosh, yeah.
We have 2 out on FMLA, 2 security guards, a groundskeeper, and then we have another position open, yes. We have maintenance tech position. So we are short on maintenance. We are handling, what we're doing is we're taking guys from first shift, putting them on second shift or third shift. Like Mark, for example, Mark the plumber, he had worked a midnight shift day before yesterday, and he's working a mid-shift today. So we're shifting guys around to make sure that there's somebody here on second shift and third shift for emergencies. And the reason that is because the health center and the assisted living buildings, if a fire alarm goes off, we need to make sure that someone is here to address the fire alarm. Or like 2 weeks ago, we had we had a big flood in the health center. It went from the second floor down to the first floor. So we need to make sure that we have all positions covered here for just those type of emergencies.
But we're actively filling those spots. So I don't know, he had about 60 people apply. He's working through the applicants. I can tell you, Rick can tell you, of the 60, probably, 50 of them, are ineligible for one reason or another, and then of the other 15, getting them to come in and interview. Some people are actually actively unemployed, and they're going through that, process to stay that way, and they just send out applications, as a part of that requirement. So we're seeing more applicants in our applicant queues for different positions, but maintenance and housekeeping is one that it's a little slower to get filled back in. And the 2 folks that are on FMLA, those positions are protected because it's FMLA.
But we are trying to handle the emergencies. We're trying to prioritize all the work orders as an emergency. So if an air conditioning is down, we try to address that first. Or if it's a flood or toilet problem, we try to address that. So I'm not sure if you have a work order that you're waiting on to be processed, but we will.
Well, one I just decided to fix it myself. I went and got the parts.
Oh, okay.
The other one, I gave it a gas, and I just fixed that.
Okay.
The third one, I actually did ladder, or someone could pick up the gutters, but the gutter clogged, and I think it's probably and all that comes down and you put the house and washing through.
AJ, there is a work order on that, and AJ, I'll follow up on that with him to see. Well, no, we don't want residents on ladders. We don't want.
Or tearing down fences or anything like that. Right.
So, Rick, I'm next up. And so my question is about the hot tub. I wasn't at the hot tub this morning, but I was there Friday. And it's filling up. It's not quite hot, and the jets aren't working. So I was hoping to get some update on what the diagnosis was and what the plans are for the hot tub.
I will touch base with Mark and I will let you know. He's just came on shift, so I'll let you know.
All right.
I'm not going to sit there and tell you something that I don't know, so I'll let you know on that.
Yeah, there's an email about that. Yeah. All right, you did. Question? Yep. Oh.
This morning I was walking around the building to come to lunch, and I got down where there are two parking places. There was a large truck in one of them, and he was parked over the sidewalk, but he wasn't all the way back. I wonder if there would be a sign to say, please leave the sidewalk clear, because I had to go out and go into them around him.
Was this by the dining room?
It was on the way down. There are two parking places just before you get down to where you can go in the back door of the dining room.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take a look at that and see if there's a space, because the two spots are in front of a generator, and I believe there might be a place where we could stick a sign. I'll take a look and see. I'm not sure.
Well, it's the first time I've ever seen that, because people who park there usually go all the way in, you know.
Was it the U.S. Foods truck?
No, it wouldn't be parked at that one. This truck was. You said it was this morning?
It was a large white truck.
Okay. Okay.
We have all sorts of vendors. Yeah.
Okay. Well, when we see that, we can remind them to pull all the way up. There's no reason to block the sidewalk.
Well, you know, I was able to get around it, and when I started doing it, I thought, this is going to be difficult. Fortunately, there wasn't too much of an angle going out and coming back in.
Okay.
All right. Got a question over here?
Yeah, I have two questions. First one is I want to thank whoever was in charge of getting our air conditioners put into the gym.
That was Rick.
It was, I mean, it made a world of difference, and now it's bearable and it's good in there. The other problem that I have with the gym is we had that challenge with the bikes and everything, and that side fit, which is the arms and the legs, it's starting to really skip, and then it's skipping and it's skipping. And I mentioned it to Allison. She said something about there may be a warranty still on it, but I don't know if that's the case or not. But it's going to get to the point where it's just not going to work at all.
Oh.
And the other machine, as you know, probably one of the abductors, that's been broken for at least 3 months. Now, supposedly somebody tried to fix it and put a new part in, John. It said something about John doing it. You can't have people that aren't familiar with those machines. That's a specialty. You have to get people that work on those machines all the time. You're not going to get them fixed without that.
We don't work on the machines at all.
Well, John apparently did.
What he did is he replaced the computer board. That's all he did. But Allison has a contract with a company that comes in and fixes the equipment. It's a liability. We don't mess with the machines.
Well, okay, that's great to know, but is that coming up soon?
Allison is in charge of that. I can't tell you that.
Yeah, so what happens normally, that company's called HUR, H-U-R, and anytime anything happens to machines, normally she gets the quote for the part or the repair or whatever it is, sends it to me, we get it approved, they get their money, and it takes care of it. So if there's something outstanding, I can connect with her. I'm not aware that there was anything outstanding.
Well, she knows now. She knows now because we talked to her, and then one of the other ladies had her sit on that machine yesterday, and she felt it.
All right, so if it's something she's...
But that other one has been a good 3 months.
Well, I apologize for that. It shouldn't take that long. I've had Allison, connect with me with other ones. I can tell you that we've recently adopted a new accounts payable system. It's called Acumatica, and the transition to that has not exactly been smooth. But I'm told hope it's going to be glorious when we get it all, figured out.
Okay, the other thing I wanted to ask about is the swimming pool on my back porch. Lately, every time there's a storm now, and we've had some pretty good storms in the last month, I'm out there sweeping my porch because I'm afraid it's going to go into my bedroom. I have a double door, and it's the same height as the porch. So there's no way to block it unless I put sandbags or something out there.
What's your address?
822 Lakeside Court. I called and left a message with Lisa a good 2 or 3 weeks ago, and nobody ever came out.
Well, I wouldn't say that nobody came out because I know that we've had a lot of work orders that are being processed, and we're going out there cleaning gutters and checking that to make sure that it helps resolve the issue. We have had a number of concerns about porches being level with their back doors. And when these houses were built, they built them where they're ADA, where they're handicap accessible, so if you're on a walker or a wheelchair, you can go right out without having steps. And that's the reason why that the porches are level with the houses.
Okay, so the question is, if I go away, which I'm going away in July for a week, and I'm going away in the end of August for a week, I'm not going to be there to sweep off the water, and my bedroom is right there. Do you give out sandbags, or
No, we don't.
Is there anything I can do?
I'll make a note of that. We'll come by and take a look just to see if there's anything that is
Yeah,
back.
Mandy, write that down, and we'll come by and look at it. We've got another one that we're looking at, and there might be some way we can mitigate and put something in to, drain the water off. Duct tape? Duct tape's fixed a lot, but you got to have, a pair of vice grips in there. Anybody else got any questions for Mr. Rick? Oh, coming around here. So before we go too far away from the MacArthur Center, and while the portable air conditioner units are helping, we do have a big replacement of both of those AC systems in. It's a pretty significant repair, and we had to get a couple competing quotes for it. And we've got the one that we're going to go with identified, and it's just going through the bureaucracy of getting it approved and getting it done. So hopefully in the not too distant future that will be, placed in there. But there's 2 units there, and they're kaput. Yep.
Gutters have been cleaned 2 or 3 times, and we still have problems.
I understand that because I know that the leaf debris not on the roof gutters, but the ground gutters are getting debris in them also. I just see your photos of it, and we have it where it's sloping. I don't have an answer for you right now. I cannot, we'll have to reach out with the contractor and see. It's just significant in water. They have an issue with their back porch, but it's not a porch, it's the backside of the house.
Maybe I need to come see yours too.
Yeah.
Write it down, Mandy.
I don't have flood insurance.
You don't have flood insurance? We do. All right. You got a question for Rick? All right.
The gate on Palmetto by my house.
Yes.
I don't use it at night because I don't drive at night, but people have told me that if you go real close to it, it'll open automatically to get out.
It does.
Does it do it the same thing for coming in?
No, it's only exit only.
Because I've had the problem where planes were canceled and the kids coming didn't get here until 2 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the morning. I have called and they have come and opened it, but I was just wondering if they could.
One way.
It closes what, at 7?
7.
7. All right, coming on back here.
I heard you mention about the leaf gutters twice. I think that the problem is they're coming too early in the year to clean the gutters before the leaves fall.
They're scheduled, they're going to be out here next week doing Highland Street. They hit all the areas, I think, 4 times a year, or 3 times a year, 3 times a year. And so they hit all the areas. We have them divided up in 5 different zones. And so they come, they keep rotating every
I just
quarter.
thought they came once a year, and they have, they were here before February.
Yeah, they'll be back. They're going to be out again. Yes, I understand. Yeah, they do. But we have them hit all the buildings and the houses. Just not. They're only a three-man crew, so there's no way that they can hit all the houses at one time. It'd be cost prohibitive too. It's not cheap to do.
Today, I noticed on the back of our house, the soffit is falling down.
Okay, call in a work order for that. Yeah.
Soffit falling down. All right. Anybody else for Rick? Going once? Going twice? All right, Rick, you're off the hook.
Thank you.
Hi, Rick. Maintenance has a lot to do here, right? So we appreciate all their efforts. Moving on down the list. I wanted to, so this is my section. We have a lot going on, and I wanted to tell you over and beyond Allison and security. We did hire a new dining services director. The gentleman will start here on the 15th of this month, Monday the 15th, and he'll be going through orientation. So, give him about a week or so, then he'll hit the ground running. Right? I had a couple interviews with him. Seems to be a very pleasant guy, very knowledgeable, has a great disposition. I think he'll be well received here. And then in the interim, Eric has been doing a fantastic job holding functions, doing different things. So we want to give Eric a round of applause and a shout out, right? And talking about shout outs and rounds of applause, and we go back to the comment cards. We're getting ready to do our next employee of the quarter, right? So we've sent out, when I say we, Tracy and HR has sent out nominee requests to all the department heads. We have one of our resident council members who's also going to be on that team to help us nominate somebody. But if you have somebody that you feel strongly about, put their name in the comment box, we'll collect it, and we'll put that up for consideration. But Carl is the outgoing employee of the quarter. Carl does a great job. He's been dealing with that, the muddy mess over there and keeping it, clean for everyone. So we thank him for that. I think the ground over there with the grass, is much more functional, and it's absorbing that. The only thing we really didn't get to with Rick is the darn banana trees, or the lovely banana trees, depending on what side of the fence you're on with the banana trees. So I think where we've landed is that we're going to keep the banana trees, but we're going to trim them. So I get a yay. How many yays I got? Yay. Yay for what? No, the banana trees. See, this is a hot topic. There's a lot of buzz about it, the banana trees. Right. What's that?
How are we coming along with sales?
Well, that has nothing to do with the banana trees. Right. I mean, if we put sales over top of the banana trees, it may help them grow. Right. But so I think where we're at, we're gonna trim the banana trees and try to clean them up a little bit. They get a little scruffy looking. But on the note about the sales, I know I've talked to a few of you all about resident activities. There's some monies there that we need to figure out something to do, and I haven't received too many ideas in the comment box, right, about what to do with these funds. So I'm going to put this out there. You guys let your resident council know what you think. Put a comment in the comment box. But we've been thinking about putting those angled metal sort of support beams for sales in different places around campus. In particular, over by the Bark Park and the swimming pool, expanding the Bark Park a little bit to the north, I guess it would be, right? Making that area a little bit larger, putting some additional seating in there, because on any given day I see 10, 15 chairs in there, and there seems like there's more chairs than dogs, right? So it'd be nice to make the area a little bit larger. You know what I'm talking about? It's like, they look like they're stainless steel. I don't know if they are, but they're structural support poles. Normally they go off at an angle, and then they can be tethered, you know, to the shade sail can be tethered between them, right? So that was we got some strong feedback about that. Put one or two over there, and then one or two down here, wherever the patio is, over here, right? So, you know, here's some of the lovely banana trees right out the door in case you don't know what we're talking about. So the gazebo is also on the list. We're looking at trying to get that leveled. I think we had discussed that before. If you haven't been out to the gazebo, I mean, it's nice right now, right? In July, it's hot, but it's the floor is not level. I talked about it with Rick and see if we could just, you know, tape it off for the immediate, you know, time right now, and pull that floor up and see what's going on with the structure, and see if it's something that we can, you know, bolster back up and make the floor level, or what needs to happen. Because it has that poly wood on there, and, you know, that'll last forever, right? It's plastic. But underneath it, it has, I don't know if it's the original structure, if it was redone at some time, but we had also talked about making the whole thing bigger. Right. So in that area as well, you know, we have talked to many of you all about the foundation, the Loving Care Fund and stuff, right? The foundation, part of that, we can get finances, you know, for different things. And the gazebo was actually sort of what we were thinking about for some of the foundation dollars, as well as the dock area and the water entryway for the canoes and kayaks and whatever. We just want that, you know, try to make that area, you know, safe as well. All right. So that was what we were thinking about, the shade sails and the banana trees. All right. So we already covered the IL to AL in the apartments, right? If you're in an IL apartment, you can receive AL services there. If you need therapy, maybe if you're getting, if you're doing exercises in the gym and stuff, you know, with Allison, she has you on a program, and you think like you need more, you know, we have one of our therapists here, Lisa, that spends a lot of time in the community, you know, helping residents increase their level of functionality. So if you think you need more, let Allison know, let me know, let Alyssa know, you know, somebody, right? Contact us. My email, my phone number is in every week's TGI FYI. You can come by and let Mandy know, right? And we will get, you know, somebody to contact you, right? So Part B therapy is a big one. We get questions about it. Most of the stuff, right, we talk about, you know, what's going on with the banana trees and what's going on with dining, what's going on with the shade sails, you know, stuff that we're looking at, you know, moving this glider. Does anybody use the glider out here? All right, so I got 2 people. So you three may be disappointed. Just so we know where to direct the apologies. But it's an underutilized thing. The glider is showing its age. The shade that's on top of it is tattered at best. So, you know, we're trying to figure out if we're just going to, you know, get rid of it or what. And then put a shade sail over there so you can sit and look at the banana trees. What? You know, those things, they're, I have a few, and you know, they get sun damaged. You know, it's not a one and done situation. The poles can be, you know, very robust and rigorous and last a long time, but the sails themselves, they get sun damaged and rot and dry rot, and you know, it's just something you have to buy, you know, once a year, or, you know, whatever. So, all right. So the glider, yes, sir. So the question is, very important, do the banana trees produce fruit? Let's go see. From this vantage point, I'm going to say no, they should come down. But I think they do produce fruit. I don't think they currently have any bananas on them, but I don't think it's fruit we can use here. Bananas on it? Yeah. So I think they do produce fruit. I personally like banana trees, but it's, you know, I think we can probably get them cleaned up a little bit. Right? I think they're little small bananas, right? Yeah. It's not like, you know, dull bananas that we get. Not like Chiquita bananas, right? I come with the Chiquita banana. So, all right, I'm glad that's on YouTube. This past month, just a week or so ago, so you all know, Miss Lucia and I were in Orlando, and we had the annual Resident Council Presidents Meeting. I don't know if you want to tell the group anything about it, but it went well. I think there was a lot of information, you know, shared there. They went over all different sorts of, you know, operations and any words from it?
I'm doing sitting down.
Sorry to put you on the spot.
Yes, sorry about that. I enjoyed the meeting tremendously because I found the corporate board, the corporate officers very, very open. Everybody's on a first name basis, and we had plenty of time to circulate and talk with those officers. Also, as a group, the presidents, in addition to having this meeting, they also have an email group where we can email things to each other or email the whole group and ask questions. And then we have, we meet once a month for, sometimes it's a Progress to Success meeting, it's a speaker, or other times we just get together and talk on Zoom. So we do have a lot of access there, and it was nice to get to know other presidents. But I came away with a very positive feeling for the whole thing.
Great, awesome. So, yes, sir.
Did the Residents Council have an opinion about banana trees?
We did not poll the resident council about bananas. We'll leave that. We'll, you know, put that on the list for the next meeting. But I can tell you, you know, working, I worked a couple places. Westminster and the CSS team up there is very transparent. Sometimes you wish they'd hold back a little, right, and keep you a little in the dark and just let us, you know, maybe, you know, just, you know, wonder about things. But they're pretty upfront, and you know, there's a lot of opportunities here. That's why they're here. I think that, you know, they talked, you know, to the resident leadership team, you know, as a group about what happened with Unison in Tampa, and what, you know, being irresponsible, you know, is, you know, what's the results of that, right? So I think I you know, talk to you guys all the time that I'm here to be, you know, responsible, you know, for your money and make sure that we're managing, you know, things, you know, appropriately. And Unison is an example of what happens when you don't take, you know, the pledge to do that seriously. Right, and things happen, and you know, they have to close down, right, and what, you know, what happens, you know, with all those folks. So it's you know, it's very serious, and you know, I take, you know, my position in all of it very seriously, and I know sometimes that doesn't mean, that means that I don't get to give you easy answers, right, and the answer is not always yes, as much as I would like it to always be yes, right. Any other questions? We're getting close to wrapping up, even though we're a little early for ice cream. Yes, ma'am.
May I guess when the transformation of the altar area that's going to result in a wider screen in the front is going to happen?
So the question is, she would like to ask when the transition happens up here on the screen, you know, are we going to get a bigger screen, right? So I can. Here it comes. You got to wait for it. We're waiting for ice cream anyway. So when you show a movie or we do a presentation here in our chapel / multi-use area. When I was in the Marine Corps, I was a flag bearer, so I am a professional. But when the movies come up, they show outside of the screen, right? So I was trying to be dramatic with but it goes real slow. So, yes is the short answer. Is that's something that'll be addressed if we're going to get a new screen, it'll be bigger. Right? Yeah, well, that's another question. When is always relative to what's happening right now, right? If the roof is ripping off the building, well, the screen's gonna get pushed down the road a little bit. If we there's some things with the bus, right? We're trying to do more activities, and we got that big people mover, but as few miles as it has on it, I think like 35,000 miles, Rick. It has like a vapor lock issue. They can't shut it off, so they're worried about how far it goes. It's we have to try to figure stuff out like that, right? So, yes, sir.
Some time ago, we had a presentation showing how good the minister was for the Super Bowl thing. I thought that sounded like a good deal. And I have signed up, and I get all my regular medicines from there. And I've called them, and they got a good response. They know what's going on. So when I don't get a medicine and I'm going to need it soon, I call them. They said, oh, we sent that out 4 or 5 days ago. I don't think they've extended their expertise to hear how they handle it and how it gets to the people.
Okay.
It's happened a couple of times, and the poor nurses up there on the second floor, they're the ones supposed to be taking care of this.
Right.
They got other things.
Well, that's one of them, right? So the question / is more of a statement than a question, right? So the question / statement was that, some of you participate with the Westminster Pharmacy, which is now called Longevity Scripts. And there's been occurrences or occasions where maybe you didn't have a med, and then you called and they said, no, we sent the med, and the team here maybe didn't notify you that the med was here, right? I know that we had a situation like that a week or so ago, and we addressed it. They're supposed to be calling. We're trying to make sure that we have a system in place that backs that up. There's a couple systems that we need to review and that we need to be better, right? So I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that we're perfect, because we're not, right? There's people at this, but we can implement systems and we can identify areas where we have opportunities to improve and make those things better, right? So if you have a situation like that, again, don't wait, to call, tell me in particular, tell Alyssa in particular, right? And we can make sure we're, I'm pretty good at getting folks' attention and getting them to act on stuff. Sometimes, right, our people have other things that they are doing as well. But if you tell me and you tell Alyssa, we're really good at getting people's attention. And at least finding out why, right? All right. Yes, ma'am. I'll be right back. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Could we address the spastic door on the right?
Rick, what's going on with this door?
Picking up motion.
Picking up motion. So maybe we could shut it off after, I don't know, we got to leave it open because it's a fire escape. So maybe we could turn down the sensitivity. I think we had a question over here. But yes, it does open incessantly.
I've been getting my meds there for, I would say, 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Never, ever have I been called that they're here. So I belong to the Westminster group. But the question I have is...
So how do you get them? I'm sorry. How do you get them?
I called Westminster and they said, oh, we sent them.
So who do you ask?
So then, when I call Westminster...
No, when here, who do you ask here?
I just go over and then I track somebody down and they give me. But the question I have is, when yes, they notify you with a text. Why can't this be done at the Westminster Pharmacy? They have our emails, they have everything. When I call, they've always been able to send me.
That's a good question.
And why can't they say they have been delivered at 9 p.m.? I mean, it's the work
Yeah.
goes on them, I understand.
Actually, I have a call. I'm going to text Dominic and Phil and say, why can't we text our residents when their meds have been sent? Why not? Well, these days, you know, the technician or whoever it is on their side, you know, they're not on their cell phone doing that. It's a computer, and they just send out the message. I think that's a good observation. I think we should be able to do that. Yes, you had a question?
Recently, we had dinner Sunday with a gal who was staying in the guest room, and she is here.
I'll repeat it. All right, let me give her the mic. All right, here we go. All right.
Thought I had a loud voice. Last Sunday, we were having dinner in the dining room with somebody, and they were staying in the guest room. And she was saying that the guest rooms are equivalent or maybe below a Motel 6. And I was just wondering
A clean Motel 6.
A clean Motel 6. But just, she said they need a perk up. I don't know if it's on the agenda or what.
This is the first I'm hearing about this. I'll keep this. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. It's on the list. It's on the list. You know, pass that down.
Well, a comment on the, on the room. His brother and his wife stayed in it just a while back, and they said it was really nice.
Well, so we have to take sort of everything, you know, in its place. You know, do they provide a place to sleep that keep you out of the rain?
Yeah.
Air conditioner works. So if you depending on what list of boxes you have to check, it may be perfectly adequate. But you know, it's not the Vinoy Hotel or what's the fancy hotel around here? I haven't been to.
Anyway, my main question is comment about the medicine, okay? The prescriptions. Now, when Landis orders, he gets a notice, an email that from Westminster in Orlando that they received his order. But we never get anything that it was shipped. I get nothing at all. And I have to call, they're supposed to call us when the medicine gets here. So Landis had ordered last week, and we never got a call, waiting. So I called Monday, I guess, and I left a message because there wasn't anybody there, wondering if Landis's medicine was there. I please call him on his cell phone, and they have our numbers for our cell phones. And they finally called him that afternoon and said it was there. But it's there for several days. And somehow it should be simple to have a spreadsheet or something that when those prescriptions come in, they just look at the names and then they give you a call the next day. If you're not there, they could say left message or something. It's not. Right now, I've got to go check because I know I've got some coming in and they ain't called me yet.
I thought I ran out of battery. I don't think you should have to go check. I think it should be relatively simple, and we will get on. I think I had one over here, then I'll come back to you. No? All right. Yes, ma'am.
It's along the same line and about prescriptions. I've been in the situation several times of being at a doctor's office, and they want to send a prescription in, and and they say, "Well, who's your
pharmacist?"
Who's the pharmacist? And I say, Westminster.
Yes, ma'am.
In Orlando. And they look it up, and what they get is not the one,
That they need to send it to?
yeah, it's Westminster Senior Services or something. Is the only thing in the doctor's little book that they have.
Maybe we need to send you with a little card with the phone number.
Something needs to, or the little book needs to be reprinted.
All right. Okay. So, I mean, good takeaways. I think that there's opportunity with the pharmacy. I think they could text, email, and we make that. If you look up Westminster Pharmacy Services, the number is there, but I don't know if we're doing that. Or
It is listed as Westminster Senior.
pharmacy. Do you have a question, or is that you're just telling us? Westminster. I knew there was somebody's hand that was up somewhere. The new name of the Westminster Pharmacy is Longevity Scripts.
If I get in a doctor's office and they say, who do you want me to send this, to, and I say,
Well, it's either Westminster Pharmacy or Longevity Scripts. They should, but I think going back to the previous question there, is that you should have a card or something with their name and phone number on it. Right. All right. Up there, see, they're trying to get in first in line for the ice cream. They're sneaking out. Okay. All right, but you can ask. Yeah, so the statement / question was that a couple weeks ago, a group of y'all went out to eat in Dunedin, and she was asking if they're going to have some more events like that. Absolutely, right? You have to ask for them, right? And you need to participate in them when they're held. It sort of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, is we absolutely want to have these events, and the way that we justify having that extra bus driver is by taking residents out to functions. So if the bus goes out and there's no residents on it, my friend Jim goes, Doug,
what are you doing with that bus? There's nobody on that bus. Yeah, what are you spending that money for? We can use that money for shade sales, extra bananas, more fruit.
He's got a pretty infectious laugh if you haven't met Jim. Is that it? We're done?
All right. You got about 10 minutes, and then there's ice cream as a reward. Thank you all.
They gave me the hook. They're like, all right, you're done. I'm going to start clapping.